Hello out there! Today I'm going to be taking a look at Jada's Street Fighter 2 Cammy figure, and this is her in the box. And right off the bat, let me just say I love the box design they did for these. They kind of emulated an arcade cabinet. Has the HP up on top and your score. I really like this box design. I'm not an in-box collector. I normally just toss them. I'm going to keep this box because just of how cool it looks. And on the side, it has that artwork along the sides of it that you would see on an arcade cabinet. And right here it has a little bio. It says Cammy. Country of origin is England. Fighting style, Shadaloo fighting technique. If you know anything about the Street Fighter series, you know what the Shadaloo is. On the back, it has another profile pic along with the logo. Here posted up, and I think these along the bottom are figures within the line. I can only assume because I haven't really seen too many of these Jada figures out there. I have seen Ryu, Chun-Li, obviously Cammy, and I think I've seen Bison, but other than that, I don't recall seeing too many others. But there's the box. It's simple in its like graphic design on there. It's not really that, you know, that overly stylized, but the actual box itself is that it's I don't know. I just think it's really cool the way they did that. They didn't have to do that. They just stuck it in like blister or square box, but they didn't. So just really wanted to show off that box. But yeah, let's get her out of there and take a look at the figure. Okay, here we got Cammy out of the box. First things first, let's talk about her accessories. She comes with two kind of rigid open palm hands, an alternate head, and an effect piece, which I think is great for her cannon spike or attacking. The accessories she comes with, I think they're pretty great, and they're easily interchangeable. So let's take a look how to do that now. So her head is on a ball joint. Pops off nice and cleanly. And you can see that ball joint right there. And to replace it, you just pop it right in. Nice and cleanly. Oh, look at that. Look how angry she is. Urgh! She's mad. And her hand is on that peg. And it pops off that pretty long peg right there, actually, which is nice. I mean, it's going to fit in there nice and tight. Let's put that other one in. So yeah, you can see the pieces are interchangeable. She interacts with her accessories very well to get that effect piece in. You just kind of, there is a hole in there that is exact shape for her boot, the end of her boot, and it just slots right in just like that, nice and easily, so she can do her kick. So those are accessories. Not too much, nice and simple, but they are effective as heck, I think. So let's take a look at the actual figure and her posability. Okay, now this figure is deceptively detailed. At first glance, you might think it looks pretty bare bones. Even as far as paint goes, you just see the green and like her skin, and that's kind of what stands out the most. But upon further inspection, you will see that there is actually kind of airbrushing along the figure, like all throughout. I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but you can see like right there on her arm, there is kind of a shading right there, and that continues down to her legs and her torso area. So it's not just the green and the skin and the red. There's depth to the way this girl's painted. The only thing I will say is her boots are flat. It's just done in a flat black plastic. But her ponytail in the back, they give her those red, what do you call them, hair ties. Her face sculpt looks pretty good too. She's got that scar on her cheek, blue eyes. I actually prefer this head sculpt to the other Screaming one. But yeah, this figure is deceptively detailed in the paint and also the posability. So let's take a look at the joints that this Cammy's packing. So let's start from the top and work our way down. So first of all, her ponytails actually have a swivel joint right there at the base, and her head is on a ball joint. You saw that earlier when I took up the head. So it's kind of like a barbell joint where there's a piece in the neck, base of the neck, and a piece on the base of the head. Her arms, her shoulder joints have those hinge swivel. Let's call them the swinge joint, and it goes all the way around, up and out. She got that bicep, goes all the way around. She has those double jointed elbows, and in my opinion, I think every 6-inch figure should have double jointed elbows. They should at least be able to, come all the way up. If not double jointed elbows, just something that's comparable, let's just say. Her wrist joint goes all the way around and in and out. Her torso right here is very well articulated. Right here on the top, where her abs are, there's a ball joint right there. She can go all the way around. She can spin all the way around too. A little hindered by the sculpt, but that's not too bad. Right here, where her waist is extremely posable. So you can go back a lot. She can almost bend all the way forward. As far as her leg joints are concerned, those are extremely posable. She can do the splits. She can kick out. She can kick back, which not a lot of figures can do. She also has that swivel here at the thigh, double jointed knees. If you're gonna have double jointed elbows, you gotta have double jointed knees. And her boot, she got that boot swivel, that boot cut that comes all the way around. Her ankle has a joint there, goes back and forward, and does it have a rocker? It does have a rocker. So, this figure is, like I said, deceptively detailed. And now it's time for the size comparison. Here we have Cammy with a random assortment of figures to kind of show you how she will fit in with other toy lines. But of course, to get a more accurate reading, we got to go in with the tape measure. And here you can see she stands almost exactly at about 5.5 inches tall. So that'll give you an idea of how Cammy will fit into your own toy collection. Okay, so the question is, do I recommend this figure? I really cannot recommend this figure enough. I think what Jada is doing is really good. They're pumping out some really nice detailed figures with great posability, great accessories at a really reasonable price point. The only other thing I'll mention is that they're a little bit harder to find than Mattel stuff or Hasbro stuff. So, I say if you see it on the shelf, my recommendation is to grab it. Or don't. Whatever. Have a good day.